Greetings, Jarvis Source here. It's almost been a year since my last coaster review, so I think it's about time to do another one. As some of y'all might know, I had the chance to visit Florida during the summer of 2024, and man, was it great. Finally being able to experience some of the world-class attractions that everyone talks about, such as Velocicoaster, review coming soon, and Iron Gwazi, Montu, Hulk, and of course, Mako. This hypercoaster has had widespread praise across the enthusiast community, garnering the title as one of the best hypercoasters ever built, which wildly contrasts from my personal favorite coaster of all time, Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Yeah! Oh my god!
So does finally experiencing a B&M Hyper change my perception of Goliath? How do these two rides stack up? Which one is better? Find out in this review. As with all my reviews, let's dive into some history of this coaster before we get into the actual ride experience itself. Mako was built in the year June 10 of 2016 by Bolligard and Mabyard for a price of $20 million, give or take, because some say it's $15 million. Which, if you're unfamiliar with the name Bolligard and Mabyard, it is also the manufacturer that built countless other famous coasters, such as Batman the Ride or Hulk. They are also perhaps the most successful hypercoaster manufacturer, although many manufacturers have tried their hands at it, building a whopping 18 different hypers. Debuting the hypercoaster model with Apollo's Chariot in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg in the year 1999, the model has gone on to be installed at many other parks as headlining coasters. Mako is one of these giants, standing at a whopping height of 200 feet and reaching speeds of 70 miles per hour. It is one of the tallest and fastest coasters in Florida, only being topped by Iron Gwazi by 6 feet. The ride experience is also quite long, with the track length being 4,760 feet, with its layout including a variety of elements, but mostly just camelback hills. Speaking of the ride experience, let's explore its fantastic layout now. Right out of the station, Mako does a slight right-handed turn, which heads straight into the lift hill, which towers over the rest of the park. Looking to the left, you get a fantastic view of Kraken, their B&M floorless coaster, as well as the rest of the park. Then comes a 70-degree, 200-foot drop, which is absolutely awesome, giving incredible flowjector airtime in the back rows and floater airtime in the front. The value of this drop is quite intense, pulling 4 Gs, which always makes me gray out a little bit. After the drop comes a huge overbank turn, which gives a pinch of wacky lateral hang time as the train slows down at the top. Then comes possibly the best moment on the entire coaster, a absolutely enormous camelback hill that the train absolutely just hauls over, giving several seconds of flowjector airtime, and dare I say, sustained ejector airtime in the front. After that godly airtime hill comes a hammerhead turnaround, which is found on many of the B&M Hypers. The turnaround does subject riders to some nice positive forces. Then comes another huge camelback, giving another moment of sustained flowjector airtime. However, there is a trim on this airtime hill, which can affect the airtime strength for riders closer to the rear rows. Another airtime hill follows, but unlike the previous ones, the exit out of this element banks and turns right, diving under a awesome head chopper support. This element sends riders straight into a speed hill, pulling -1 Gs, another one of the best moments on this coaster, giving incredible flowjector to ejector airtime. Following this is a mid-course brake run, which front row riders get a nice pop of airtime going into it. The brake run does slow the train down a little bit, but not too much. The finale of Mako is usually called lackluster by enthusiasts, but I always find it really fun, with one more airtime hill giving good floater, and 2 overbanks that fly over the pathways and right over the water. I really recommend sitting on the left side for the incredible visuals during this section. After this, Mako goes straight into the brakes and back into the station, ending the ride experience. As you can probably tell, I absolutely love this coaster. And during my visit, I just kept lapping it over and over and couldn't get enough of its incredible forces, especially in terms of the quality and quantity of airtime. Vastly different than the ride experience that Goliath gives. In addition, Mako is really smooth, almost no rattle whatsoever, and I absolutely love the B&M Hyper trains, which have extremely ergonomic clamshell restraints and are very open overall. So how does this ultimately compare to Goliath? Well, I think my favorite Hypercoaster title definitely has to go to Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Yeah!
Are you surprised? Yup, although Goliath is absolutely trashed upon and Mako is praised by enthusiasts, in my eyes, Goliath is still the best, but Mako is absolutely incredible too. Both are extremely smooth and fun ride experiences. While Goliath is arguably more intense with its forces, Mako definitely has a stronger layout, with all of its airtime hills and variety of elements. But I absolutely adore both of these rides to death. To wrap this review up, Mako is definitely, no doubt, one of the best roller coasters ever built, with an absolutely awesome ride experience and tons of glorious weightlessness that anyone can enjoy. Smooth, forceful, fun. It checks all the boxes, and not to even mention its awesome looking station and setting right over the water. I definitely recommend it to anyone traveling to Florida to check this coaster out and the park itself. It's all very incredible. For Mako's final score, I'm giving this coaster a 10 out of 10. No question. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more coaster reviews and stuff. Bye-bye.